bunch of people, I don't know who they are. So let's see who they are. Hi, I have someone who's called in on a telephone line. Can I ask your name, please?
Sarah Dingus.
All right, hold on one second and let me find you. All right, let me see if I can find Tony.
Murray.
Huh?
Yeah. His name's Murray. His last name's Murray.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to change your name and then I'm going to go through and find the other people that are not named. So just bear with me.
All right.
So Ms. Dingus, I'll refer to you as Ms. Dingus going forward. So when I'm talking, it'll be to other people who are unnamed.
Okay.
All right. I have a young lady on an iPhone, blue walls, white ceiling. What is your name, please?
Susanna Evans.
All right. Let me change your screen name. All right, Ms. Evans, I'm going to pop you in the waiting room and I'll be right back with you. All right, if someone who's called in on an iPhone, a young lady with her hair up and a very nice messy bun. What is your name, please?
Oh, thank you. Amanda Weaver.
All right. Let me change your screen name. And then I'm going to pop you in the waiting room and I'll be right with you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And one more to check. All right, I have someone on an iPhone wearing a safety vest. What is your name, please?
First name Rosita, last name Lee. Sorry, I'm at I didn't want to take the whole day off work.
No, that's the reason we do Zoom, is so that people can take a break at work and Zoom in and finish their day. All right, so Miss Lee, since you're at work, I'm going to take you first, and Mr. Flores is here. So let me find it. Let's get him connected. Maybe get him connected. All right, come on, connect. He's reading. All right, Mr. Flores, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, this is in the matter of Rosita Angelina Lee versus Pablo Flores III, file number 22-50048DP. I have Mark A. Bregman, P66065, appearing on behalf of the Lenawee County Prosecutor's Office. This is the date and time scheduled, Mr. Bregman, for your motion for entry of judgment of paternity and support. So Ms. Lee, did you receive a copy of the proposed judgment?
Yes, I did.
All right, and have you had an opportunity to review it?
Yes, I have.
All right, Mr. Flores, did you also receive a copy of the proposed judgment of support and paternity?
Yes, I did.
And have you had an opportunity to read it?
Yeah, I was reading it this morning.
Okay, so this is kind of important. Did you get to read the whole thing?
Yes, I did.
Okay, now in this, it makes a determination on custody, child support, and parenting time. Miss Lee, do you agree with all the terms listed in it, or do you object to some of them?
I object to some of them.
And what do you object to?
I want a scheduled parenting time and to the support order.
Okay, all right, and Mr. Flores, do you also object to the custody, parenting time, and support provisions?
Not at this moment.
Okay, all right, so I'm going to mark the box that you dispute those. And this matter will get referred to the front of the court for a referee hearing. If your address changes from what's listed on here, you need to notify the front of the court in writing immediately. You should be receiving a notice for a front of the court referee hearing within the next couple weeks. And it'll be via Zoom. So make sure you do show up and attend that hearing. Referee hearings can last up to an hour, Ms. Lee. So you can schedule it that way. If there's any issues, you can take a break for that time period from work. That's fine. So if you don't receive anything in the next 2 weeks, you might want to contact front of the court to see if it's been scheduled. All right.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Bruckman, is that good?
No, you did a great job. No, nothing further.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Lee and Mr. Flores. All right, so you're free to go. All right, in the matter of Sarah Francis, and it's Dingus, you said, right,
Yes.
Miss? Versus Tony George, and you said Mary?
Murray.
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 Murray?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. File number 22-50149DS. This is the time scheduled for a motion for entry of order. Once again, we have Mark Brugman appearing on behalf of the Lenawee County Prosecutor's Office. I've reviewed my waiting room. He is not present. Ms. Dingus, did you receive a copy of the proposed judgment of support?
I did.
Okay, and the recommendation for custody and parenting time and child support, do you agree to those terms?
I do, but I do have concerns about her going to the hotels that he owns in Sturgis. I don't want her there. It's not a very good atmosphere, and my daughter is beautiful, and I don't
Okay,
feel
so
comfortable.
ma'am, before you get going too far, so the judgment grants you sole physical and sole legal custody of the minor child, and parenting time is as agreeable. So if you don't agree to parenting time, you don't have to let her go. If you do agree, you can let her go. Either of you can petition the front of the court to make a set parenting time schedule if you want, but at this time, it's parenting time at all times agreeable.
Okay, I agree.
Okay, so you don't dispute any of the terms then?
I don't know.
And as I said, he has not appeared. So Mr. Bruggeman, I will sign the judgment of support and custody and the recommendation for child support.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just for the record that today's hearing was scheduled for 8:15, it's now 8:28, and you do have good service of process in the file indicating that he was served with notice of today's hearing.
Excellent. All right, so ma'am, you are all set. You should receive a copy of this in the mail, all right?
Oh, okay.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That was just on my child support.
Oh. All right, hold on. Savannah Evans. All right. All right, Ms. Evans, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
This is in the matter of Susanna Evans versus Joshua Anthony Trevino. This is file number 2022-50022DS. I have Mark Rugman appearing on behalf of Lenawee County Prosecutor's Office. Ms. Evans has appeared via Zoom. As Mr. Rugman, it's 8:29. This matter was set for 8:15. Mr. Trevino is neither in my courtroom or in my Zoom waiting room. I do have a motion for entry of order. I do have a proof of service showing that he was served with the paperwork back on December 15th of 2022 at 5:30 p.m. He's failed to appear or respond in writing. So, Ms. Evans, did you receive a copy of the proposed judgment?
Yes,
Okay, and have you reviewed it?
yes,
All right, do you agree with all the terms of custody, parenting time, and support?
yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so you have no objection to entry of this order?
No,
So, Mr. Bruggeman,
Your Honor, I
Sign.
think you've covered everything that needs to be covered, and I would ask that you sign the order at this time.
right, doing that right now, and we will enter this judgment of support. So ma'am, going forward, if you ever have any issues or anything you wish to change, you would just petition friend of the court for a referee hearing, all right?
okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, have a good day.
You too, thanks.
Let's see. Weaver. Morning. Could you hand down to them jury instructions so they can wait one one? Here, if you two could review the jury instructions for them.
We might have some issues.
Okay,
The jury room's open for one.
all right, so in the matter of Amanda Weaver versus David Tyler Shepherd, file number 22-50171DS. If there's an issue, I'll do that. All right, this is date and time scheduled for a motion for entry of judgment, file number 22-50171DS, and Ms. Weaver is present via Zoom. I do not see Mr. Shepherd in my waiting room or in my courtroom. It's 8:31. This matter was set for hearing at 8:15. So Ms. Weaver, did you receive a copy of the proposed judgment?
I did.
All right, and have you had an opportunity to review it? You did? Okay, and it lists custody, support, and parenting time. Do you have any objection to any of those terms?
I do. I have objections to
To what?
all three.
Okay, all right, so, ma'am, what I'm gonna do is mark that you did appear and that you do have an objection to all of them. So I will mark for custody and parenting time and child support. He was, by the way, served on December 15th of 22 at 4 p.m. So we do have a valid proof of service. So Mr. Bruggeman, I've marked the boxes that she disputes those, and I will have this matter sent for referee hearing. Mr. Bruggeman, anything further?
No, Your Honor, you covered everything that needs to be covered.
All right, so ma'am, make sure you keep your address updated with friend of the court. If you don't receive a notice for a referee hearing within a couple of weeks, you might want to contact them to make sure that you didn't miss it or that it didn't get sent out. All right.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, next we have Aswelt. Information. Good morning, Mr. Wilt. So this is in the matter of Erin Elizabeth Barron versus Stephen Keith Wilt, file number 22-50194DP. And Mark Bruggeman appearing on behalf of the Illinois County Prosecutor's Office. Mr. Wilt, all right, so petition for paternity and custody or complaint was filed. You were served back on December 28th of 22. And today is the date and time scheduled for a paternity arraignment. Is that correct, Mr. Bruggeman?
That's correct, Your Honor. This is the date and time set for Mr. Wilt's paternity arraignment. At this time, he could either ask for genetic testing, and we would grant that request and give you an order to order genetic testing, or he could acknowledge being the father, and we would take testimony under oath that indicates that he would be willing to sign the affidavit of parentage upon presentation.
So, Mr. Wilt, you have a couple options today. One, at the expense of the state, you can request a paternity test done to verify whether or not in fact the child is yours, or you can acknowledge paternity and proceed with the case.
I wish to do the parentage test.
All right, so you would like paternity. So, Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Bruggeman, further instructions for him?
Your Honor, we will prepare an order for your court or for you to sign that orders genetic testing, and then we will make arrangements for that genetic test to be performed. And all we need is Mr. Wilt to make sure he shows up at the date and time set for his testing.
Now it's going to be in Ohio, I presume.
Yeah, we'll make arrangements based on where you're at.
Okay.
Somewhat local for you to go to genetic testing.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so sir, make sure that you keep a valid phone number and address with Mr. Bruggeman's office. His office address and phone number are listed on the paperwork you received. And when they contact you, make sure you show up for the paternity test, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're all set. Smell that. Well, it's somebody, and I don't know who it is. It's probably somebody on somebody else's phone. All right, I have someone with the screen name of Carla. Well, you don't look like Carla Novak. Sir,
No.
What is your name?
Joshua Trevino.
All right, let me see here. Already done yours. Okay. All right, so I apologize, Mr. Trevino. I go by screen names and yours the Carla Novak. So I had already called the case, but in the matter of Susanna Evans versus Joshua Trevino, file number 22-50022DS. We did call the case earlier and Miss Evans was present. So I'll go back through this with you. We have Mark Bruggeman appearing on behalf of the Illinois County Prosecutor's Office. Miss Evans did receive a copy of the proposed judgment and review it. Did you also receive a copy of the proposed judgment?
Yes.
All right, and did you have an opportunity to read through it?
Yes.
Okay, now, sir, in that document will be terms regarding custody, parenting time, and support. Do you object to any of those terms?
Yes, the parenting time.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna change it, and it's I'm gonna write that the defendant, at the time of entry of the judgment, the defendant has disputed the custody and parenting time provision. Now, if parenting time is awarded, it would change your child support. So for the purposes of that, I'll mark that box too.
Okay.
Because under this year awarded, no overnights. So, sir, make sure you maintain your address with the front of the court. So if you move, make sure you go there and in writing, give them your new address
Yes.
and your phone number. You'll receive notice for a front of the court referee hearing. It'll be via Zoom, and make sure that you appear for that. If you don't receive a notice in a couple weeks, you might want to contact front of the court.
Okay.
Because sometimes the mail gets a little wonky right now. And then we'll see you back. Well, the referee will see you back for a hearing on that. Anything else, Mr. Brugman?
I'm gonna contact the plaintiff in this matter because when she hung up, she didn't think there was gonna be a front of the court hearing. So I will do the legwork on that to make sure she's aware that there is going to be a front of the court hearing.
All right, thank you, Mr. Brugman. Mr. Trevino, good luck to you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. All right, I got someone else who's logged in.
So stop video.
Let's see what this is. The 15 obviously means 8:40. Hi there, sir. What's your name?
Tony Murray.
Oh, there you are. All right, so let me get your paperwork. All right, so in the matter of Sarah Dingus versus Tony Murray, file number 2022-50149DS. Mr. Murray, this matter was scheduled at 8:15 this morning, and I had already called it, but we'll address it with you again. So, Mr. Murray, did you receive a copy of the proposed judgment of support?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and Mr. Brugman prepared that and mailed that out on behalf of the prosecutor's office. Mr. Murray, in that document, it awards custody, parenting time, and child support. Do you object to any of the terms of this judgment?
Yes, on the custodial part.
All right, so you dispute the custody, parenting time, and then child support?
Yeah, so she has full custody. And
Okay,
that's
no,
all
that's
there.
fine. So I have marked the box that you object to that. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna white out my signature on the support order. And then because we had already called it, she thought there was no objection. So Mr. Brugman, once again, I greatly appreciate if you would contact her and let her know that this matter will now be set for a referee hearing.
Yep, I'm making note of that right now.
Yeah, I
Alright.
have no objection to the child support part, just the
Well, that all
custodial.
changes with custody, so that's based on overnights. So, Mr. Murray, we will, you'll get a notice in the mail for a referee hearing. Make sure you keep your address updated with the friend of the court. And if you don't hear or get a notice in the mail in a couple weeks, you might want to contact a friend of the court just to double check that date. All right?
Oh, okay.
All right. So thank you, Mr. Murray. And anything else, Mr. Brugman?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
both. Thank you. You're all set. Okay, so now we got some no shows. So. let's see what we got. All right, in the matter of Nadedra Shatora Motley versus Rennie June Young III, file number 2022-49931 DP. This is a date and time set for a motion for entry of order. I have Mark A. Brugman appearing on behalf of the Lenawee County Prosecutor's Office. I do have a proof of service in the file showing that Rennie June Young III was served on October 7th of 2022 and had proper notice. At this time, I have nothing that indicates that he requested DNA or anything further, and I actually have an affidavit for default in the file. I have received a judgment. Neither party has appeared. It's 8:43 and the hearing was set at 8:15. Mr. Brugman?
Your Honor, I think you covered everything that needs to be covered for the record. I'd ask that our order be entered as presented.
All right. So I'm gonna mark the box that neither party has disputed the custody order. And I also mark the box that they failed to appear. And we will enter order here. I've signed those. Those will get entered. About that. All right, in the matter of Kiana Shante Wooten versus Anthony Wooten, file number 22-50112 DS. Are they married? Must, but okay. All right, I have Mark Bregman appearing on behalf of Illinois County Prosecutor's Office. They obviously have different addresses. He resides in Indiana. She resides in Michigan. I do have a proof of service that he was served back on November 28th of 22 at 4:25 p.m. He has neither filed a response nor appeared. Neither of them have appeared. It's 8:45. So Mr. Bruggeman.
Your Honor, I think you covered everything that needs to be covered. We're asking that you sign the order as presented by way of default.
All right. So sign and grant that. All right, I've signed those and entered those. All right, so nobody in my waiting room. In the matter of Derica Jolynn Collins versus Joshua Thomas Hull, file number 22-50148 DP. Mark A. Bruggeman appearing on behalf of the prosecutor's office. This is a date and time scheduled for a motion for entry of judgment. Do you have a proof of service showing that Mr. Hull was served? He was served at your office?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes they come in when they
Yeah. Yep. So on January 4th of 2023, they live at the same address and
if you, yes, Your Honor, we have that noted, which is why it's a zero support order.
Yep. All right, so neither party has appeared because so they have no objection. They're not in my waiting room or so. I marked the box that at the time of entry of judgment, neither party has disputed the custody order. I'm going to sign the judgment and the support order. And we will enter that. So thank you, Mr. Bruggeman.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Almost done. So in the matter of Terry Lynn Yoder versus Raymond Isaiah Young, file number 22-50214 DP. This is date time set for paternity arraignment. I do have a proof of service showing that Mr. Young did come to your office on January 4th of 2023 at 3 p.m. and received his information. He's not appeared. So Mr. Bruggeman.
Your Honor, at that same time, we did get cooperation from Mr. Young. He signed the affidavit of parentage acknowledging paternity. Said affidavit was notarized and sent in, the original was sent into the state of Michigan. I will provide documentation for your file indicating that it was sent to the state of Michigan. We'll proceed forward from here as far as gathering financial information and proposing an order.
Okay. All right, very good. Thank you. In the matter of Stephanie Amber Goodrow versus Cavani Montez Tyndall, file number 23-50266 DP. Hi, just have a seat. I'm sorry. Or you can sit in the hall, it doesn't matter. All right, this is date time set for a paternity arraignment. I do show that Mr. Tyndall was, did come to your office on February 2nd of 23 at 3:55 PM and received, his paperwork. And, Mr. Bruggeman, what happened that day?
Your Honor, you're right. He did come to our office to receive the paperwork. At that time, he also acknowledged paternity and was signed the affidavit of parentage acknowledging paternity. Said affidavit was notarized and the original was sent into the state of Michigan. I'll provide documentation for your file indicating that the original affidavit of parentage was sent to the state of Michigan, thereby establishing paternity. Our office will gather financial information and propose an order concerning child support and visitation.
All right, well, Mr. Bruggeman, I do believe that concludes our paternity docket, which is
All right,
very
you don't have
fitting
any-
of Valentine's Day, so happy
Right.
Valentine's Day.
You don't have any show causes or anything you need me to hang around for?
No, I do not.